Hello. Okay, Mila is here with us. I'm so excited to introduce you to our next Uncovered CEO for our interview series. Why don't you start by just telling us who you are and what you do?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I've also got my cat in the
Yes,
background, so she
good.
might make me
Very
heroes too.
important.
So I'm Carolyn Sykes, and I'm an acupuncturist and a meditation and menopause coach.
Amazing.
And so my work in this world really started when I was a child. So I've always been, attuned to the metaphysical side of life. And I
Yeah,
was always interested in like astrology and crystals and everything when I was a child.
yeah,
Then I got into witchcraft when I was a teenager. Uh,
yes.
then I learned to
Yeah,
meditate when I was 17. Then I became a Reiki master. So I was teaching meditation and Reiki since my early 20s.
yeah.
And then I met some mentors along the way. And one of my mentors was a guy called the Barefoot Doctor. I don't know if you've ever
Oh,
heard of him. He's a
no.
British guy, but he was actually Madonna's acupuncturist.
Oh my God, amazing.
And he was my personal mentor. And he wrote
Wow.
a lot of best-selling books. And he just said to me one day, "You should become an acupuncturist." And I was like, "Okay."
Wow. Oh my God,
And it was the
incredible.
best thing I ever did.
Ah, I love this.
And then after a few years of being in practice with the acupuncture, I got like introduced to the online space.
Yeah.
And then I started delving into the world of coaching from about 2018. And for me,
Okay.
it's about marrying those two worlds,
Yeah.
like this limitless potential that's available
Okay.
that we know about with,
Yeah.
the healing. And like when people think of acupuncture, they only think of needles, but there's just so
Right.
many dimensions to it.
Okay, I'm so glad you said that because that was one of the main things I wanted to ask you about. So it sounds like, in a way, you're able to bring a lot of the tools and the gifts of acupuncture to people, even on the internet. Is that
Yeah.
how do you do that? Is that right?
Do you know, like, yeah, that's exactly right. You know that I can't remember who sang it now, but I got 99 problems. That
Yeah.
song. I always think in my head, I got 99 ways I can help you, and
Yeah.
sticking a needle in you is just one,
I
and
love
it's
that
like
so much. Yes, that's so good. So,
that's
so
what it
good.
is. It's like it's
Yeah.
mind, body,
Yeah.
emotions,
Yeah.
spirit, it's transformation,
Yeah.
it's for all life stages, it's
Yeah.
prevention as well as cure. And like, you can start even if there's nothing actually wrong with
Yeah.
you. It's about being the best you can be on every level.
Yeah. Okay, so good. What do you think women need to know about this work?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So women in general, we go through these different like life stages.
Yeah.
So we've got the maiden
Yes.
and then the mother and the wise woman.
Yeah.
And Chinese medicine is so powerful because each one of those is seen as a transformational gateway. So we have
Yeah.
this gateway that goes from little girl into maiden. But in the
Yeah.
West, there's no rite of passage for us to
So
actually
true.
celebrate that or empower ourselves. But
Right.
Chinese medicine can give that level of self-awareness and
Yeah.
empowerment through these stages.
Yeah.
And then it's like when we become the maiden, we don't want to
Mhm.
be the little girl
Right.
anymore. We'd
Right.
never want to go back to being a little girl playing with dolls once we've
Right.
become a woman. And
Yeah.
then we become a mother. And
Mm,
then once we become a mother, we realize we can't be that independent young maiden anymore.
right.
It's like a fundamental change. And
Right.
so, again, the Chinese medicine aspects can really help to empower us through that change.
Yeah.
And then when we get to menopause, it's another change. But I
Yeah.
think in society, it's not really looked at as a change. I think, we're trying to stay the same,
Yes.
yet things are
Yes.
fundamentally changing.
Yeah.
And the way that Chinese medicine can support and empower women through that is by getting to the root cause level of all of these
Yeah.
transformational changes. So, like, there's a lot of emphasis on hormones in the
Yeah.
West, but to us, we go a few layers deeper and we're looking for that
Mhm.
root cause organ.
Yes.
So, is it like kidneys? Is it the liver? Is it the
Yeah.
spleen? And each one of these organs houses a different aspect of our soul. So for
Yeah.
me, that's the bit that lights me up. It's like the
Mhm.
heart is the soul. It's like your shen is the Chinese word for your consciousness. And it's like that's the part of you that's like a diamond light. you
Mm,
know, and that's the part of you that knows why you came into this world. And it's like, you know, like you've just got your hand on your heart there, you can connect to your Shen by just putting your hand on your heart and just saying, how is my Shen? Like, how am I
mm,
doing? Because oftentimes we're so disconnected to that
yes,
reason we're actually here that we're
yeah,
suffering without even realizing, because,
yeah,
you know, no one around us is acknowledging that. It's all
yeah,
like superficial conversations and, you know, small talk
yeah.
and all of these layers and masks, and you know, and that's why uncovered work is so, you know, amazing at taking off the masks, isn't it?
And why this is such a good pairing. Yeah, I feel like, oh, there's like so much I want to say, but it feels like in some ways what you do is help women drop down deeper. You know,
Mm.
if so much of the work that's available, even in personal development and wellness, is up here about how we think and our mindset. And of course, that stuff is so important. But what about everything else? And it sounds like you really drop them into like, how does everything work together? How is
Mm.
everything functioning? And that sense that some of us have sometimes of like, is something off, you know, like, or just not feeling as vibrant or as alive or as like vital as maybe they used to. I feel like what you offer is almost like a roadmap for them to their own body and to their own energy. Is that right?
Yep, that is. And it's like, it's at this organ level, because the way that we view the
Yeah.
organs in Chinese medicine is that they are these houses for our soul. So, like, the heart houses the oversoul. And
Yeah.
then, so it's like knowing why you're here. And
Yeah.
then you create a vision, and that's the domain of the liver. And
Yeah.
so, like, you've got this vision for how you want your life to be, but then you've got to make a plan. And
Yeah.
that's also the domain of the liver. And
Yeah.
then you've got to have the willpower to actually stick to your plan. So that's the domain of the kidneys.
Mm.
And then, like, throughout all of it, you need to be like nourished and
Yeah.
supported and grounded and in the present moment. And that's all the domain of the spleen. And
Mm.
then, you know, you get your inspiration from the lungs, which is like you breathe, so you inspire, but you also have this inspiration of a higher divinity or a higher purpose beyond yourself.
So good.
And then it comes to the womb, which as women, that's our actual secret place of power, isn't it?
Yes, I absolutely love that. What would you say makes someone like just such a good candidate for this work? Like, how would they know if they're feeling a certain way that, like, oh, this is what they should come work on with you?
Yeah, so I think like over the years, because I've worked with so many different people, it
Yeah,
really can help everyone.
yeah,
But I think it's like that level of, you know, when you meet someone and they're like a soulmate.
yeah,
So if somebody was to meet me and think you're my soulmate practitioner, you're my soulmate coach, and I
yeah.
would feel the same way about them. They'd really
Mhm.
want to, like I was just mentioning about that, find the purpose, create the vision, make the
Yeah,
plan, stick to the plan, which is where the
yeah,
mentorship and the support comes in,
yes,
have the nourishment on the body level so that
yes,
everything is supporting them in their health as
yeah,
well as, you know, the career. But it's
yeah,
like having that also like that raised gaze of looking up,
yeah,
something beyond me,
yes,
something like it may be spiritual,
yes,
or it might just be like helping the world, but it's
right.
something bigger than them. They want to tap
Yeah,
into
bigger
that.
than them, kind of tapping into the vision for their life, but also for the world.
Yeah, yeah,
That feels so good and so resonant and just like, yeah, like if you're trained by your life and by society and culture to like look down, like you with raise your gaze, like helping them look up and out is such a different shift already. And then to restore vitality and vibrance for women who have been basically taught to expect that the older we get, just like the worse it's all gonna get. And I don't know. I mean, sometimes there's even like an attitude of like, well, this is just aging, you know,
yeah,
it just feels bad. And in a way, like we're not supposed to ask for anything better. And I feel like what you're offering is this alternative of like, actually, if you support yourself and you support your organs and you tend to your energy, you can be even more vibrant now than you were when you were younger.
Absolutely. Yeah. It just keeps getting better and better and
Yeah.
better. And it's like, even for me, like I know in my head how good it can get, and I've been shown by my mentors. I've got
Yeah.
different types of mentors, and I see in each life area how good it can get. But
Yeah.
even like every day, it's kind of growing inside me, and I just
Yeah.
wish everyone knew this.
Yes. Yes. I love that. That's such a good place to be where it's just like, this is so good. I want you all to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then, like, when it comes to the menopause, it's almost like I think a lot of younger women fear it because
Yeah.
there's a lot of negative talk about
Yeah.
what to expect. But
Right.
actually, when we look after the organs, you can smooth sail through it. It becomes your
Yeah.
second spring. And I love what Kirsten was saying on one of your other interviews in this
Yeah.
series about
Yeah.
how actually you've got a whole half of your life left, and that can be the
Yes.
best half. It's like we don't even
Yes.
look beyond menopause. We just fear this thing and
Yeah.
see it as this big kind of like scary, it's
Yes.
going to happen to me. But
Yeah.
when we look after ourselves from within, we empower
Yeah.
ourselves, and it's like we have power over it.
Yes. Yeah. It's so fair. Ah, a second spring. Oh my gosh, that's so good. So, so good. Okay, so how can people do this work with you? Where should they even begin?
So I've got some free resources online. I've got a free group.
Great.
It's
Yeah.
called, so my business is called Raise Your Gaze. And I've got a bricks and
Okay.
mortar place in England where people can
Great.
come if they're in
Yeah.
England. And I've got a website that goes with that. So
Great.
in the booking online system, they can choose a free consultation, so they can start talking to me from wherever they are in the world,
Perfect.
or they can come and see me in person for some acupuncture or like a whole day, like a retreat
Okay.
day or a VIP
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
But then online, I've got the free group, which is called Raise Her Gaze, same
Mm,
name as the podcast. And I've got a free course which is called Be More Yin, because in
mm,
Chinese medicine, it's all about balancing the yin and the yang. And so the Western culture as a whole is very yang. It's
yeah.
very focused on doing and
Yeah.
achieving and thinking
Right.
and fixing something that's broken all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas the yin is more like in the now,
Yeah.
stillness, receptive, being, and
Mhm.
just letting things kind of sort themselves out rather than
Yeah.
trying to manipulate and control everything all the time, which
Yeah.
just burns us out, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah,
So Be More
absolutely.
Yin course will help people to get started doing that
Mhm.
on their own. But then
Yeah.
obviously, if they want the support, I do one-to-one mentorship over
Yeah.
Zoom. But
Okay,
I've also
perfect.
created my own methodology as well.
Yes, I was hoping you would talk about this. Yes, who is that for? And, how is it different than others?
Right. So it's for menopause. Okay, but it is actually for women of all ages, because the
Yeah.
sooner they do this work, the better prepared they'll be.
And am I right that this is something other coaches could take and other
Yes.
practitioners can take in order to be able to understand menopause better? So really, if you work with women in any
Mhm.
capacity, this certification is necessary because there's so little training and certainly not your version of training about this. So like for any
Yeah.
coach who works with women, this is a must.
I think so. Yeah, because the Chinese medicine, it kind of predates our Western
Right,
worldview. And
right.
they've been, like, a lot of people say that Asian women don't get menopause. Well,
Yeah.
obviously we all do, but they don't
Yeah.
suffer the way that we seem to.
Yeah.
And then, online they'll say things like there's this special supplement you can take, which is the magic secret as to why Asian women don't. And, there are supplements you can take, but really it's because they live in this way. So it
Yeah.
never becomes an empty tank. So they don't,
Mhm.
go into the biggest transformation of their life with nothing left in the tank. And
Yes.
so this program that I've created brings all of that into it. So it starts with Chinese medicine. So there's a whole phase where it's like looking at the body and the organs and the symptoms and healing. Then
Yeah.
there's a second phase, which is being more yin, which is stillness, receiving, deep, deep rest,
Yeah.
nervous system reset. And
Yeah.
then you're starting again. and this is
Yeah.
your second spring, and this is where we go into the empowerment phase. And
Yeah.
then it's looking more at like feminine energetics, healing the mother line, womb work. And then there's another piece which has dropped in since I created the methodology,
I
and
love
that's just
that.
become what's the word, accredited as well. So it's
Yes.
actually got accreditation
Congratulations.
status.
So good.
So yeah. So I just don't think there's anything else like it out there at
There's
all.
not. No, it's so wonderful. And what a resource so that people don't have their clients hit this stage and then have nothing but either the wrong information or
Mm.
no information on how to really have it be like a supported, nurtured experience for them. And
Yeah.
like most certifications, I feel like people will sign up, believing this is to help their clients, but then realize how much they needed it for them.
Oh, completely. Yeah. So with the second phase, Be More Yin, there was a
Yeah.
period in my life where I actually spent a lot of time meditating with the Ashaya monks. So I
Yeah.
was doing a lot of weekend retreats and a lot of, before I had my baby, a lot of retreats, a lot of meditation, and I was meditating for up to 3 hours a day. And
Wow.
like a lot of that has gone into the Be More Yin
Yes.
teaching, because it's like I knew that was for me, but I didn't realize how much it was actually going to give me. And then when we went into lockdown, which was when I actually had my baby, the world
Mm,
around me, everyone was freaking out. But because I
right.
had this kind of rooted, still nervous system,
Yes.
nothing rocked me. And it all ended up just
That,
being one big miracle. Like I had my baby,
that's
and
so
I was hearing
incredible.
stories about how people couldn't have their partners with them, and they were giving birth alone and all of this. And I
Wow.
didn't even worry about it. I was like, it'll just be fine. And my partner was able to be there. They actually
Mhm.
gave the baby to my partner before me. And I was
Mm,
so happy about that. He was the first one who got to hold him. And it was just like,
wow.
it just all flowed from this place of
Wow.
stillness and trust and, you know.
So amazing. Oh, I love that. Well, feels so aligned with what you just said and like your whole everything from today. But I've been asking everyone, what does it mean to them to be an uncovered CEO? And I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Okay, so for me, it's twofold. It's about being part of a group of women,
Yeah,
okay, where I can be fully myself,
yeah,
completely uncovered, and, share things like, failures and successes, and there's no
yeah,
masks required. And this is a
yeah,
group of women that actually I admire and yet feel at home with. So
yeah,
there's that element of it. But then it's also like not so to be an uncovered CEO means I'm so true to my authentic alignment. I'm not putting on a mask that society expects,
right,
because like society might expect me to talk about hormones if I'm a menopause coach.
right, right. Have that prescribed,
Yeah,
oh, we've slot her here, when really you're like, oh, there's so much more than you would expect.
yeah. And
Yeah,
it's a complementary message rather than an alternative one.
yes,
But I feel
yeah,
like to be the embodiment of an uncovered CEO means you're not covering up in any way. You're not being an ego mask, you're not people
right,
pleasing, you're just being the truth of who you
yeah.
came here to be.
Yes, I love that so much. Okay, well, we'll put all your links with the interview. But where do you prefer people find you? Obviously, there's your website and then on Facebook as well, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Facebook. I've actually deleted all my other social medias
great.
because I just
Great.
wanted to
Did it.
focus on one.
Yeah, great. I'm so happy just to be on this journey with you and to get to share your work with the world. And I can't wait for all the people who needed to find you, and now you can help them feel so much better.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Carolyn.